So the first race of the year I need to do in this whole adventure was the Paris Half Marathon. The Semi de Paris, whatever. I guess that means Paris Half. At least it was sponsored by my favorite shoe, Hoka. So first, shove me into cattle class so we can get to the end. Hop on the Air France flight overnight, hope that nobody next to me gets me sick, and land at the airport. And it's like, all right, now we're in the city, let's go have some fun. Hey, look, cool building. I have no idea what it is, but it's pretty cool. Walk around downtown, or whatever it is at night. The Louvre at night was spectacular. I think it's pretty good. But captivating of all was the Eiffel Tower, just standing there in the darkness, shining, making you want to get over closer to it. So you stroll along the Seine, unfortunately not with anybody special but yourself, but still the river at night is almost peaceful and relaxing. And hey look, I made it to the Eiffel Tower, and I didn't get lost, so I consider it an accomplishment. But you know what, in Paris you gotta eat. And unfortunately I can't really translate the menu, but I think I got some pretty good food overall. But at first you gotta start with a drink. We may be racing, but we're still drinking. So you get the steak, and boy, that was a good steak. What else do we get? Hey, you get done with dinner, and hey, look, there's a police army there. So go back to the hotel, rest up for one of the nights, and it's like, what is this? Hope not a protest. Oh, God. There's a protest, and it's France. There's always a protest. I have no idea what this protest was, but it kept me from getting around. So what else did I do? You get to the museums. You walk through the door and go, that's cool. I don't know what it is, but it must be important at the top of the stairs. This painting I loved. I still don't know exactly what it is, but I wanted to take it home. Another awesome painting that I have no idea what it's called. This one, another one of my favorites. I believe it's Van Gogh. Another famous painting, one of these ones that I've only seen in books. This apparently is a painting of a 16th century HOA board meeting. A fabulous Degas statue, at least I remembered that. And so as you looked around at all these and said, you've only seen these paintings and famous, I thought of a story with a very good friend of mine being at a museum, and I said, is this painting famous? And with the most stunned, deadpan looked at me, and she just said, Sean, we're in a museum. Everything's famous. Yeah, even the Mona Lisa, but I always think of that when I end up in famous museums. So I was off to the race and started going the wrong way to get to the start line. When I got to the start line, it's like, there's about 40,000 people here. That's quite a bit. But I did make it to the start line. So we were ready to go, and people just kept coming and just kept coming. It was a mass of humanity. Apparently we all needed to be color coordinated, and I didn't get the memo. We start off with, I guess, jazz hands to run the race. But thankfully, Hoka put together this fabulous little summary of my race. So you get off and you go start running, and you're like, okay, this feels pretty good. I'm going to get off and have a good time. And as you start running, you start to realize, one, everything's in French. There are all these signs, and you have no idea what they mean. The other thing that was sort of maddening was I kept running and being like, okay, where's the mile marker? Where's the mile marker? And then I realized they don't do miles over here. It's all kilometers. So suddenly I had to sit there and go, okay, 5 kilometers is 3.1 miles roughly. I got to figure out, so unexpected math equations. I wish I had paid more attention in high school. I might have actually been able to understand what I was running. But, we kept plugging along on the race course and making a last-ditch effort here towards the end. You'll see me coming up on the outside trying to pass a bunch of people. Everybody really waving hi mom, just trying not to pass out. And so what happens? We get to the final home stretch. We got to make this last mad dash. Everybody sprints the last 100 meters. So everybody's coming sprinting in, and they're stopping. I have no idea what they're doing. It's like, you guys realize I didn't exactly stop on a dime. And this guy in front of me, I don't know how I didn't run him over. I probably should have, but I didn't. And there we were. We were done with the race. So how did we do? Well, the results were actually rather pleasing. Sub 2 hour half marathon, so that was a good result. I was happy with it. It's great when they put up the final results and they give you the time per kilometer. It makes you think you're really fast when you're used to running miles. So you see only 5 things and you're like, wow, I'm at Olympic level. And you realize, no, you're just still slow. But hey, we're done. Time to celebrate with a fabulous medal. And it's back to the Eiffel Tower. Somebody said I really didn't look very happy, so I decided I would take a picture with a little more festive nature to it. Up to the top of the Eiffel Tower to take a look at the city coming down and enjoy a sunset of the Eiffel Tower at night. It really is captivating at night. It's kind of jaw-dropping. And, of course, I ended up with a beret, and my son said I looked like a professor, but that was the trip. And with that,